My brothers and sisters, the first reading we just listened to, the Israelites were just at the brink of entering the promised land. And Moses, who has led them all these years, has given them final instructions. They had wandered in the desert for 40 years. They had wandered for all this time because they failed to trust in God. And so God left them to their own devices, and they couldn't make any headway until he came back and intervened. He found them wandering in the desert and is now guiding them to the promised land. Well, the story for us listening to it today is a kind of a metaphor, if you will. Because, in a sense, we are like those Israelites. We are wandering, trying to find our way to the true promised land, which is heaven. And so the instruction that Moses was given to them is also appropriate for us on our own journey to the promised land that we call heaven. He asked them to be brave, to be steadfast, to trust in the guiding hand of God, leading them now no longer through Moses, but through Joshua. And he reminded them that God will go before them until they arrive at their final destination. So here we have an image of God that is again emphasized by Jesus in the gospel reading. He tells it like a parable, but it's really not a parable. He talks about that a man who has 100 sheep and one of them strays, that he would leave the 99 that didn't stray in search of the lost one. This is an image of God. Christ is not telling them a parable, he's revealing to them what God is really like. He goes in search of the lost. He does everything, even if it means abandoning those who have not strayed. And you see, from our human point of view, from a calculation, our human calculation, it's only a stupid shepherd who will leave the 99 to go and search for one that is missing. What if all the 99 also stray when he's in search of one? That is our calculation. Better cut your loss and keep what you have. But that is not God. That's not the image of God that Christ wants us to see in today's gospel. A God so tender, so loving, that he goes in search of anyone that strays. And the good news is that when he finds that lost one, no punishment, no embarrassment. He tenderly picks that one up and brings that one back to the fold. And the good news is that not only God rejoices, even heaven, as he tells it, rejoice. So my brothers and sisters, I think this is something for us to think seriously about. The tenderness and the loving nature of our God. A God who goes in search of one. So if you are that one that is searching for, please come back. And if you are among the 99 that didn't stray, well, become an instrument to bring back those who have strayed. All you can do to help anyone who has strayed. Because when you do so, you are cooperating with God, the tender shepherd, in finding the lost and guiding them back to the ways of life. You see, we live in a world where there are so many distractions. It is very easy to stray, to go astray. There are so many things that entice us away from the ways of God. But in spite of all of that, we can overcome them by being humble, by driving pride out of our lives, by becoming childlike, as Christ told his disciples. He didn't tell them to become childish. He told them to become childlike. In other words, to have the humility, the trust, to recognize their dependence, total dependence on God, just as a child is dependent on his parents. And if we live that way, we will never